Tommy Wilkins was a dreamer.
I got delivery for Tommy Wilkins.
That's me.
Dreaming of the wonders of space.
How did you get out of Germany?
That's dialogue from a short film called Magnifier, which was shot in St. John. Now, that was back in March 2009. It was supposed to be ready later that year, but that did not happen for a variety of reasons. And one of those reasons is that the filmmakers are not producing it with other people's money or with tax dollars, and that is often the norm in the industry. The CBC's Michael Richard LeBlanc has the story.
One day, he revealed a secret.
Something that could change everything we know about this world and beyond.
My name is Mark Savoy, and I'm producer of the film Magnifier. Magnifier is like, it's the little movie that could, I guess. It's started out, we had a little bit of money, and we were going to shoot, and it was going to be a couple days, and then it kind of spiraled out of control. We work on a lot of other people's projects. We collaborate a lot with people, but we're in a creative industry, and we just really wanted to show, I guess, tell our stories, or show that we had creative ideas too, and that we could pull them off.
Magnifier is a 22-minute adventure fantasy film about a boy, his mentor, and a fantastic machine with mysterious abilities. What people in the film industry find fantastic is Savoy, his co-producers, and the director are breaking a cardinal rule within the industry, financing the film themselves.
It was the only way to do it. There's no money for film. So we just had to put our money where our mouth was and pay for it ourselves.
How much are you putting in, and how much is Marcel putting in?
That's still unknown, because it keeps becoming more and more expensive, as it's been a year in the making. Director Marcel Galland says so far the team is about $35,000 out of pocket.
For me, the biggest part for me to put in my money was I kept on applying for grants, and the biggest thing that I found was there's nothing there for people who have done nothing. So for me to get money to try to advance my career, I can't till I do something. So I was like, well, it's an investment, yes, it's an investment basically in a demo reel, but I like telling stories. It's what I've been doing all my life, so for me, it's worth it because hopefully then I can go and tell more stories and get money and pay these people, because I don't want to go beg, borrow, and steal again, because it's very hard. It's hard, and you can only push people so far when doing things for free.
The project started small, but then it picked up momentum and began attracting big talent, like the semi-retired Oscar winner for hair design on the film Amadeus, who lives in Dieppe.
I called Paul LeBlanc. I was like, hey, you think you can help us with hair? I mean, his last movie before doing mine was No Country for Old Men. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll do all the hair design for you. So it was like, okay. I mean, you bring in somebody just like that into the mix, and you have to show them that you're as serious as they are. So I pulled out all the favors that I possibly could. We had a 10-ton truck full of gear, so I called the rental houses that I've been dealing with for years. I was like, I want all the tools that I can get for nothing, or friendly price, I guess. It's a fantasy movie, right? It's there's a whole space trip, I call it, happening in the end, and all that's done from scratch, right? Because we don't have any space shots. We're not NASA, so we have to build them all. So that's kind of been our focus for the last year.
Blake Stillwell is the one adding special effects and 3D animation in a post-production facility in Moncton.
In this particular scene, we are jumping through a wormhole into an alternate galaxy. We wanted it to be very vibrant, a lot of color and light, and we're basically traveling through a tunnel. I used 3D Studio Max just to render out the geometry side of it with a fractal texture, which is basically just a really abstract, moving series of colors. And then I brought that into my Nuke compositing environment.
The Techno Geek Talk goes on. As an editor for over a decade, that's a world Marcel Galland understood well. What was new to Galland was being a director.
It was different, working with actors for the first time. The first day, the first couple of hours, I was more in awe and didn't really know what to say, I guess, and to not hurt people's feelings. But they're there to work and also casting it correctly. I mean, these people, when they know how to do their job, you don't have to tell them much.
But things happen for a reason.
He's the patriot, like his father, who's over there in Vietnam giving Charlie a run for his money.
I'm sure the hobbyman was very nice, but Uncle Sam thinks he did something wrong, and we have to listen to what Uncle Sam says, don't we?
I guess the biggest thing that I learned dealing with actors is just to have conversations with them. I find directing is more asking them where to go and, giving the tone and what I'm looking for in the end, and they bring that to the table after, right? So it's really letting them do their job. They already knew what to do or what was expected of them, right? And to not make them wait too long. Sometimes that's the hardest part.
Delaying the project's release has been frustrating for the makers of Magnifier, but they're in the home stretch now.
We just hope that people like it. I mean, it's been a long time coming. It was supposed to show at last year's Silverway Film Festival, and we delayed it just because we wanted to be that much better for this year and make sure the animation was right and that the story was all there. And we just really hope people appreciate the effort we put into it.
Shot in St. John with the provincial cast, with post-production out of Moncton, this all-New Brunswick project will finally be ready for submission to the film festival circuit in a few weeks. And if you don't see it there, you might just catch it on YouTube to see for yourself how the project, self-financed with help from friends, family and favours, looks on screen.
Nothing may ever be the same again.
For Information Morning in Moncton, I'm Michael Richard LeBlanc.
Magnifier.
Okay, Mr. Hartman. Let's see what this thing can do.
And you might have heard there a bit of dialogue from actor Wally McKinnon of Fredericton, also Emily Bartlett of St. John. Walter Learning also had a lead role in the film, and Andrew Johnson of Moncton was the boy that they cast in the lead role.